Over here we got the arcade going on. Got pinball machines. You know, that's a hyper pitch machine. Basketball, air hockey. You got the racing games, Jurassic Park shooting games. These machines, you know, you can win stuff. Xbox cards, AirPods, shoes, all kind of toys and prizes. Using the field, for real.
Are you ready, Katie?
Pull up in a spaceship, feeling like the Jetsons. Probably out of the universe, driving on a mission. I've been searching for a while, chasing all the visions. Burning all the reefer up, feeling like the Jetsons. I'ma be supreme, yeah, it's be supreme. I'ma be supreme, yeah, it's be supreme, yeah. Hop up out the space cool, we gon' find a place to go. I'ma be supreme, only pearls we be facing others, yeah.
And we back. Welcome back to a brand new episode of Be Supreme Spotlight. We got a special episode today. We got somebody, I'm going to definitely have to allow him to introduce himself because his title is it's pretty long. He got a lot going on. I'm going to step back. I'm going to allow him to let y'all know what he got going.
What's up, y'all? I'm Andrew Covington, entertainment lawyer, entrepreneur, screenwriter, producer for movies. That's a few of my hats that
Just the top couple.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So now you're an attorney, right?
Uh-huh.
And what type of law are you in?
I specialize in entertainment and business.
Okay, so let's start off with what took you down the path of being a lawyer. You could start around like your high school, going up into college time.
So in high school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I always knew my whole life if there was a professional job I wanted to do, it would be a lawyer, but I didn't think that I would ever really like go that far with schooling.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was always like I was good at school, but I didn't really like care that I didn't think I was gonna go through graduate school and keep going through the different levels of higher education. But in college, I was doing music, and that was like a big part of my life. High school too, I was doing music. That's when I started doing music. Middle school, high school. So middle school, high school, college, I was doing music. And when I was in college, I had a career going on with my music, and basically, it just kind of shaped me to want to become a lawyer and get behind the scenes of music and start helping artists and people understand their contracts and the business that they're getting into with the music business, more so than wanting to be like an artist or a star anymore. I just kind of wanted to be behind the scenes. So that's what led me to doing entertainment law. And then the good thing about entertainment law is it's full circle with everything else I do. So with like movies, with liquor brands, with fashion, with music, you name it, you know what I'm saying? Entertainment is kind of full circle. So with me having a background and doing all this kind of stuff already, it was kind of, I felt like it was meant for me to kind of get behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's one thing that you kind of notice from all of the adventures and everything that you got. It's kind of in a lifestyle, like, cause reason why I noticed that is because I remember watching an interview and Diddy, he was talking about how like a lot of his investments that he make, he tried to make it within a certain lifestyle. Cause he started out like he was a promoter, then he was producer. Then he was like, he moved, he was doing cologne, he was doing clothing. So it's all within a lifestyle, like the going out, the having a good time, entertainment, it's all fits within that umbrella. So I feel like that's kind of what you doing with your portfolio.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Because I definitely, the lifestyle branding, like from with the parties and then, like I said, clothing. And whenever you at a party, you're going to probably be drinking. So drinking comes into play. Then the party's gonna revolve around music. So that was definitely exactly how I was thinking of it.
So I said it's falling together perfect. You doing it, you laying it out perfect. And we glossed over the fact you talk about how you was rapping. That's when when I met you. You were Cash. You was Campbell. You gotta shout out your alma mater. Yeah, man. I ain't stay long enough. I was in and out 1 year, man. I got there and I was the only person. I felt like I was the only person that looked like me on campus. And then I heard about a guy named Cash was around there doing this thing, and that's when you was going crazy with the music. Like what? And you said that that propelled you into like wanting to get behind the scene. But what was the actual feeling that made you want to do that? Like, was it the fact you seen like paperwork wasn't looking right when you was looking at contracts or something?
Yeah, that's man, the music industry is it's an interesting industry. So like when it comes to contracts and things like that, you definitely want to have the best advice that you can get so that you can make a decision because it's a career, so it's definitely impacting your life.
Right.
So a lot of rappers and stuff be kind of anxious to get into deals, and they might not be signing something that they really want to be into for the next 10 years or whatever, however long their contract is for, however long that contract can take. So, yeah, I saw some contracts that wasn't really favorable to me, and then it kind of just started shaping my motivation behind the music, and it kind of actually killed my motivation a little bit. So I still love, like, to this day I love making music. I love music, but it kind of killed that burning inspiration in me to actually be like an artist and go through the stuff that's going on with being a mainstream artist, and kind of just made me want to get behind the scenes and be able to help people so that they don't lose their motivation in music neither. Because it's an art, it's a craft. You gotta love it. So it's not just a job. So I just want to help protect people from losing that feeling like I did, because I definitely felt like I lost my real passion for it. Because I'm like, man, it's all this other stuff going on. You feel me, with the music game, and I'm like, I don't want to get caught up in that. So that's kind of that it was definitely seeing some funny contracts, that weren't necessarily, but people gonna try. I mean, like, they're gonna give you the first contract. It's a negotiation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you gotta have somebody that knows how to negotiate on your behalf to try to get what's best for you.
Yeah, that's a genuine
standard contract at first. You feel me?
Yeah, then it ain't gonna be good for you. Ain't no way.
You know what I'm saying? It's like they're gonna want it in benefit of them off the rip until you express the stuff that you want.
So, but with that said, what do you say like an artist or a producer or actor, anybody getting into the entertainment business? What do you think? Well, let's narrow it down to artists first. Should do first before they even looking at any type of deal or anything. What do you recommend that they do?
Before you saying like before they
like legal, before you even trying to, like, you might have a buzz going. You might have people coming at you talking about management. You might have people talking to you about label deal, and next thing you know, you done signed a couple different deals. You got a management deal, you got a label deal that ain't a real label. Then you got another label. Now when you sign to another label, you gotta get split it off with them. So like, what do you recommend for them?
So man, not just cause I'm a lawyer, but get you a good lawyer. Like, a lot of people don't really think about having a lawyer until it get to something bad happening, or down to the last minute where they need a lawyer. But definitely get you a good lawyer that you can trust, that'll give you some good advice, or some kind of mentor that can give you advice too, even before it get to the situation of actually reviewing a contract. But just so you can kind of figure out what it is that you really want out of this career, and what you can survive off of, and what you can use to help yourself grow. Because you got to kind of identify those things. Like, sometimes, I'll be getting ready to do a contract, and artists don't really know what they want from it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you leaving it open for somebody to just present you something. You kind of got to have in your head, you got to know what you're looking for. So, yeah.
So because I know you hear about artists signing deals and they sign away the rights to different things. Are you someone to say that like it's okay and sometimes to sign away certain rights, or is it like you shouldn't ever? Let's say like your masters.
So the music business is a business. So when it comes down to masters, a lot of people aren't going to want to invest money in you unless they own the masters, even if it's just for a certain amount of time, or if they give you an opportunity to buy it back. And the reason is because if I go put $1 million into your music, and I got ways to make the money back, but because you own the masters, you preventing me from doing that. Like, I'm kind of playing myself investing in you.
Yeah.
So letting a company have the masters is not the worst thing in the world. It's just about having a route to be able to get them back when you can, either afford to get them back, or when the time is right. Some contracts, they just revert back after a certain amount of time.
Right.
because they still gonna get whatever they percentage is or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if you get your masters back, they still gonna have some kind of royalty split with you. It's just about, the masters is really about being able to control what happens with that song. Like, I might have a movie that won't put your song on there, but you might not want it to go on there.
Right.
But for me, it makes sense because I'm the investor and I'm trying to make some money back, and this gonna bring back some money. I should have the right to be able to go ahead and put this in this movie, as long as it's nothing that's like messing up your brand or your character, And sometimes people just, man, you never know what's gonna happen. So if you and your label or whatever start being at odds, people, have tendencies to what's the right word I'm looking for? To just kind of like do things to mess with each other. So you might be having odds with me as the label owner. So you might be like, man, I ain't signing off on nothing no more.
Yep.
And then that leaves me in a position where I can't make no money back on my investment. And then vice versa. A label get mad at the artist, they put you on the shelf. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can't do nothing now because, you know what I'm saying? So it go back and forth. You just want to have a good, healthy situation.
Yeah.
Like,
and this is a kind of interesting conversation I like to have with you about that too, because like I feel like time's kind of changing with the Masters situation, because you look at somebody like Future, who already sold like his catalog for like a 20-year time span, but he still got that stop. I think it was all the way up to 2020.
Yep.
Yeah, so like the hits is after that. Yeah, so it's like it seemed like the Masters, like it ain't as never sell your masters as it used to be, when it was like you got to hold on to it till it's gold. Now people actually cashing. Even Dr. Dre, like people that got they got money. So
and see, a lot of people, I have a lot of feedback when I post that stuff on Instagram. People be in my DMs like, man, that's dumb, that's this, that's that. But you gotta understand, man, in the rap game, especially rap particularly, like rap isn't the highest paid genre of music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We make it look like that because that's the lifestyle and it's glorified.
Right.
But it's not the highest paid. You know what I'm saying? Just like when you talk sports, like, you know what I'm saying? MLB players, and you know what I'm saying? Soccer
whole
players.
different ball.
Yeah, you feel me? Like NFL and NBA make a lot of money too, but the other, it's people that they making some serious
guaranteed.
So if you a rapper and they offering you $80 million for your old catalog that you was making money off all that time, you was still getting a royalty split. You just didn't own the mat. You know what I'm saying? You still getting some kind of royalty off of it.
Yeah.
And now you about to cash out $80 million. I highly doubt you made $80 million before this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
At one time, just sitting.
At one time, man, it's a reason why they selling their masters. Like, I know they make it look like it's so there's so much money and they just be having so much bread. But if that was the case, they wouldn't be selling their masters for $80 million. But $80 million is a lot of money, man.
Oh yeah.
You try to act like that's no money, like that was no question for Future. Like, of course, it's my old music, and then I still got 2 or 3 years of music that I'm working with now and the future. You know what I'm saying?
Because like that song he had with Tim's, that's one of his biggest songs he ever did, and he made that after that.
Exactly. So he's still good. It ain't like he done doing music.
Right.
See, that's the thing too. A lot of people, and I was gonna say this with deals earlier when you were asking me about like sign away rights and stuff. Like sometimes, it might be smart to take a single deal to get a fan base and to get, some motion and stuff in the industry. That single deal might not be anything that's going to make you rich, but it might get you the exposure that you want. So then when you do your album, you can get a better deal. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you know that you can keep making music or you can keep producing, doing whatever that you're doing, then you'll be open to making a business deal on something, some old product that you put out, or you know what I mean? Because it's like, I know I can go do it again. A lot of people can't do that. So a lot of people with that mindset, they like, man, I don't think I'll ever, be able to do.
Right.
Because Future, he been out for a minute. So,
And saying that, though, if you think about how music was over the past, like, it was a lot of artists you could look at that had, like, one hit, and then they didn't really see. So you could see why, like, kind of people start getting scared away from that type of thing. But with streaming, I feel like streaming changed the ball game with a lot of things. Not just streaming music and streaming these movies, everything. Because, like you say, you putting them, your masters going to the movies, that's money.
Yeah, that's sync license. Yep, they pay you for that. So, but yeah, man, like I think that it's a smart, it's a business move. You feel me? Like that's how I look at those situations. Like to me, they made a smart business move by doing that. And honestly, a lot of people feel like this just started happening. It's been happening. You know what I'm saying? Right. It just be like music companies buying masters. Michael Jackson used to be buying people masters.
Buying
like,
people.
You
was cold.
Like, this ain't nothing new. It's just now it's being, publicized a little more. And I don't really know what those deals look like back then on a money basis, but there's a reason why they throwing it out there now. $80 million. That's a lot of money, man. People be looking like that's no money. Okay.
And another artist you always hear about with that type of stuff was Prince. They said he used to keep his stuff tight, and I heard that if you an artist and you don't own your masters, he wouldn't even do a song with you because he like, you're not about to get the money, and I'm not about to make your label rich. I wanted to go to another black man pocket. That's how he was moving. So it was kind of real when I heard that. What are some of the common mistakes that you see artists and producers make, or actors, anybody getting in the entertainment business?
So artists, I would say, man, not putting together an arrangement with their producing. Because a lot of artists feel like because they rapping or singing or whatever they doing on the track that they the only ones working on the track. Like making a beat and writing lyrics and performing them. I'm not gonna say that that's equal, but it takes, you know what I'm saying, you gotta have both together to make a master song.
Right.
Like you gotta have your beat, you gotta have your song, put together your lyrics. So a lot of people ignore actually putting together agreement with their producer, and then that prevents them from being able to put their music on, like register with BMI and stuff like that, so they can get their publishing and their royalties to actually start making some money off of their music. Because you got to enter in everybody's IPI numbers and things like that so that it can register. So for artists, definitely get your situations right with your producers. Like pay your producer, do your agreement with your producer, do a split sheet so you have the information so that you can register your song. Because a lot of people, they just put songs out and they just put it out, and you might have 1 million streams, but if you're not registered in the right places, you're not making no money off of that.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I think that's the biggest thing for artists. The biggest thing with producers that I probably see is just sometimes probably just moving too fast, or like just chasing an opportunity a little bit too much to where you kind of like giving away your beat. I've seen a lot of producers kind of do that, and then in the end, they kind of end up with the short end of the stick. Like they be done took their tag off the beat, or you know what I'm saying. So it's not even beneficial on the exposure level, but just moving too fast and not standing on the grounds of like whatever your craft is and what your price is, what you feel your value is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I was telling you I was gonna bring this up. You got a clean social media account. So, like, what is your philosophy when it comes to representing yourself and your brand online?
Man, it's it's kind of difficult sometimes because like what I kind of noticed was with me getting involved with so many different businesses and stuff, trying to be an entrepreneur and just, man, I want them cats. You can call me with a business idea, I'll be ready to do it. But now my mindset is I had to learn, like, I'm a brand myself. So, I can rely on myself. Like, I can make myself a business. So my page is really my personal page, but I try to promote everything that I do on there. But I try to make sure that my lawyer presence is known up there. So sometimes personal stuff I might not post, or you don't go to the internet with that because you don't want your fan base to see certain things that don't really belong with your brand or your business. You know what I'm saying? So like if I'm mad one day and I just want to, vent on Instagram, I try to refrain from doing stuff like that, because even though I'm a human and this is my personal page, I'm really like, my page is my brand. So, it's representing all of my brands. So I have to be cautious of that kind of stuff. And then I've tried to have, like, I got a law firm page, and I got other pages for my other business, but people really just follow my main, my personal page. Right. So I'm left to promote everything through that because it's kind of hard. Everybody don't want to follow a law firm page. Like, what I'm saying? Like, you're not really in the law, or, if you're looking for something, you might go up there and look at it, but you're not going to follow my law firm page and be interacting with me every day if you're not really in the law world, or you're looking for some information on that day. It's not as appealing. So me as a personal brand, I can kind of push all that stuff to people through me personally. You know what I'm saying? But I just have to be wary sometimes of stuff I post, because I just don't want to like mess my brand up or nothing like that with any personal human like stuff that people do on Instagram that aren't really pushing, you know, a brand or anything.
Yeah. So do that make you like? Do you look at other people page, might be an artist, something that you working with, or maybe thinking about working with first, and do you pass judgment on how they page look? Do you feel like you do that?
I don't really pass judgment on nobody page because I feel like everybody is them, like, you know what I'm saying. What's for you is for you. So what work for you probably works for you, and what works for me works for me. So I don't really pass judgment, but I will say that if they're looking for advice from me, like on some artist development type stuff, I'm like, depending on what their career path is, I might give them some advice, like, you know, you shouldn't do that on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always tell all my friends though, like, try not to vent on Instagram and stuff like that, no matter what you're doing, because people really just looking at, you know what I'm saying? They kind of like laughing at your downfall.
Yeah,
even if they ain't laughing, they like, oh man, you see, bro, man, I could post something. Sometimes, man, I might post like a quote or just something that's just real, you know what I'm saying? And it might not apply to nobody directly, you know what I'm saying? Like I might say, you know what I'm saying? I was listening to a song the other day. What did he say? He said something about, you know, too many snakes in his grass, he need to mow it or something, right?
Yeah.
So I could post something like that, and then somebody's gonna think that I'm directly talking about somebody. Yeah. And it don't really be like that, but that's how social media is. I just heard it and I felt it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It might have hit home for me 10 years ago, or it might hit home for me off somebody else's experiences that I know about, but I just feel like it's something real that's being said, and I just wanted to pass the message along. But I even try not to do that, because every time I might post something and I might not be having anything wrong with me that day, but people are like, oh, what happened? What's wrong? What's going on? Like, somebody, who you mad at? And I'm like, it ain't even like that. You know what I'm saying?
Like, it's like the negative resonate with people a lot more than positive sometimes.
So if I give somebody some advice on their page, it's kind of more like that than trying to like judge them on who they is. It's
right.
Like, you know, people just look at this stuff as negative. Like, if you always posting memes about, you know, feeling like somebody, like, you know, going behind your back or backstabbing you or something, it made me feel like you a person that's always like worried about, you know, you looking over your shoulder.
Yeah, there's a reason for that. Why you feel like that? So, you ain't never comfortable.
Right, exactly. So, you know, people do. I feel like people judge off that kind of stuff. They do.
Yeah.
I don't personally, because I just take the internet for what it is, but I observe.
yeah. Like everybody else gonna do. Yeah. So we here at one of your businesses, Radio Game Lounge. How did this come about? This is a beautiful building too. Yeah, Love to see it. This
is the biggest project I ever been a part of. Man. Right. So basically, man, we had a company, me and Chris and Juan, called the Cavalli Group, when I had moved to Greensboro, and we were doing nightlife parties, stuff like that. We did some community events and stuff.
Been going crazy for a while.
Yeah, man.
Been going crazy for some years.
Entertainment stuff for a while. So we had that going on, and me and Chris kind of kept going forward with the nightlife aspect and stuff. And my partner Juan, he a family man, so you know what I'm saying. He kind of started falling back from the nightlife, and him and his wife was already doing like kid-related businesses and stuff like that, kind of revolved around kids. So we have been having conversations, because I was kind of tired of the nightlife stuff too. Like, it's a little draining, man. You know, you up to 2 a.m. every night and stuff like that. Now we open till 2 a.m. too, so it ain't, but it's a different type of
different vibe.
Yeah, so,
and you attorney too, so you got certain hours you're gonna have to be working.
I can't be here till 2, so luckily I have my partners. You know what I'm saying? But, so we just was chopping it up about something else to do that we could still, you know, kind of like see the same type of revenue and be more family oriented and kid oriented. So he had already had this idea for, like, we got a Nerf gun arena back there, so it's kind of like laser tag, but it's Nerf guns, the Nerf rival guns. They shoot like these little rubber like BB bullets.
Oh yeah, I remember them jumps was going crazy for a while.
No, I think you think about the gas splat joints.
They was they was like different colors. Yeah.
Everybody was running around the hood shooting each other.
Yeah, heck yeah.
I'm gonna get those next though.
Oh yeah, you gotta have them.
More painful. So like the kids, the Nerf guns don't really, like, you feel when you get hit by it, but it don't, like, it's not like a paintball or like even.
Oh yeah, that's cool though. But that's cool though. That's what you need.
But I'm gonna get those. They're coming soon though. We're gonna put them like on the shooting range or something. So But so he had that idea, and then just having like a family type of place, like arcade and stuff. So then, you know, it was like, man, let's throw axe throwing in the mix. Let's throw a bar and a little lounge area and food. And, you know, it's kind of like Dave & Buster's type of vibe. And I was noticing, like, as I was doing research on Dave & Buster's and stuff, after they kind of came to me with the idea, I'm like, man, Dave & Buster's been around forever, like even since I was a kid.
Yeah, for sure.
And I noticed now they starting more to focus more on bar and food. And that's kind of what I wanted to get into. I mean, I had already been in the bar type of, industry. So I'm like, man, if I could sell liquor and start getting into food type stuff, I'm like, I felt like it was a good idea. You feel me? I'm like, we got like 5, 6, 7 different ways to make money under one building. Whereas when you're doing a club, you got the door. And then if you don't own the building, you're probably not getting a bar. If you are getting a bar, you might get a 10, 15%.
Gotta negotiate.
In North Carolina, bars it's not like we in Miami where a bar do $50K or $100K. So it's like your bar percentage ain't really that crazy. So really, it was just about trying to elevate from the nightlife. And then my partner's a great partner, so I was like comfortable with doing something to this capacity with them, because your team is made like that's major with any type of business that you do. And I'm used to doing a lot of stuff by myself, so like you gotta have like trustworthy individuals that's gonna be hard working with you. But that's kind of how it came together. We had already been doing, we had a working relationship, and then just some good ideas came together, and we was like, man, let's do it. We actually was supposed to be in Greensboro, and the building that we was working on, they had some kind of covenant. They was trying to get like a major anchor, like a grocery store or something in there, and they had a covenant against like arcades or something, which was weird. But I think what it was that now with like sweepstakes and stuff, they classified as arcades. So so that's really what it was about. Cause you don't want to have Whole Foods and then sweepstakes right next door. Kind of going down in sweepstakes. So they don't. They had like a covenant against it. So we ended up passing on that spot. And I want to say they had something against a bar too. I don't know, but it was like that's a major. That's a game changer for us. We can't even rock with it.
And we talking about Greensboro, right? Greensboro is real funny when it come to putting like bars and clubs, and especially like downtown area. They ain't with it. Well, I remember they started kicking all the black people. You got to go.
They trying to clean Greensboro up because it got bad for a minute. So.
Yeah, it was kind of rough. It was kind of rough.
That was kind of like led us to this kind of path, because it's like, man, you coming in here, like, you should just enjoy yourself. Be coming in here all upset, trying to fight. And, you know what I'm saying? Like,
ain't no way.
Really
you shouldn't be.
That type of vibe. So, yeah, man.
Okay. So what is, like, you diversified your portfolio with a lot of different businesses. Like, what is the importance of doing things like that?
Man, for me, it's like, let's say one of my businesses having a rainy day. Hopefully I got another business that is accounting for, what I'm missing from that business. So that's kind of why I kind of like got into a lot of different things. And then some of my businesses, like you said, it's kind of like lifestyle related.
Right.
So like when I moved to Miami, I had been going to Miami since I was like 2021. I love Miami. And one of the things I used to do down there is I rent cars, I rent a yacht, we been renting a house or whatever. So when I moved there, I was like, man, how am I gonna make some money in Miami? I can't just, like, I don't got enough money to just move to Miami and just live a life. That's my second home. So, like, for instance, with that business, I moved down there, and then I'm in the cars. So I sent all my cars to Miami. I started renting my cars out. I already knew a bunch of yacht brokers because I was renting yachts. A lot of my businesses in Miami came from me being a customer. So that's how I used to rent cars from people. I seen how that worked. Started bringing my own cars, letting them broker my cars, doing it myself too. The yachts, I was renting yachts. Met a dude. He knew every yacht owner basically there. So every time I need a yacht, I call him, running through my business. He introduced me to a dude that had mansions. You know what I'm saying? So now I got the mansion connect. So, but that helped fund my Miami lifestyle. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? So some of my businesses, they're either to fund some kind of lifestyle thing, or it's to make sure, like, if my law firm ain't doing good this week, hopefully my bar is doing good. Right. You know what I'm saying? Or if all my other businesses ain't working right, my law firm is like my rock. So hopefully, you know what I'm saying, that's being able to maintain.
So with your career in law, do you feel like you're like a minority within the field? Do you ever feel that way? 'Cause, I mean, you are, but do you feel that way?
Sure. Nah, I definitely am. And when I first became a lawyer, I was contemplating a lot with, like, cutting my hair. You feel me? I had my hair a long time.
That's deep right there, though.
15 years almost,
right.
You feel me? So, but I wanted to go to the next level, and I felt like people didn't really, like, take me seriously with my hair. But See, and to me, that's kind of silly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, I was talking to my mentor one day about it, and he was like, "Man," and it's funny because he used to have locks. He cut them. I don't know what reason he cut them for, but he probably just wasn't as invested as I was with mine. But he was like, "Man, keep your locks. Like that's what set you aside. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what make you different. People will be able to." He was really saying everything about me. He was like, "Be yourself." You know what I'm saying? For a little while, I started wearing suits everywhere. And I love wearing a good suit now, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, he like, man, but he like, you gotta be you though. That's what's gonna get you
for sure
clients, you feel me? And I do feel like I'm a minority, and I feel like that's a good thing because when I go places now and people figure out I'm a lawyer, they want to rock with me, and they, you know, they feel like they can relate to me, and they're like, you know, I want to have a relationship with my lawyer where I, you know, I feel like this like my, you know, it's my people, like it's my friend, like not like I'm talking to some, you know, person that I, you know, I'm kind of intimidated to talk to.
Right, somebody you can relate to.
Yeah,
you feel
I feel like they judging me or whatever.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
And usually that's how you feel when you go to somebody you ain't comfortable with. That's how it's gonna be. Like you getting judged for what you coming to them for.
It's hard to really like express what you're trying to do, and you know what I'm saying? So,
right.
So yeah, I definitely feel like a minority, but I feel like it's actually a benefit for me now, for real. Yeah, now that I embraced it.
Yeah, and I'm glad you did though. You ain't cut your hair because that's deep. Be real if you think about it. Like think that like a black man gotta adapt to like a certain system, even when you done did everything right, then passed the bar, and did everything you supposed to do. And what school did you go to for? With Elon, right? Okay, yeah, Elon. And how long did it take you to do it?
So I was in Elon. They had I was the first class where they had a 2.5 year program. So it was 2.5 years. So like basically it was just spread up. Law school is really 3 years.
Right.
And you really need that 3 years, but
they crammed it in.
Because we had like trimesters instead of semesters to kind of speed up the process. But we actually had a pretty successful bar passage rate that year. So I'm pretty sure they still on the 2.5 year program. But I think they was either the first or second school to do it.
Yeah, that's dope. That brings me to the question that I know I was going to ask you. Like, what do you think gave you the type of discipline that was needed to get to do something like that? Like, it's going to take a lot of discipline to become an attorney for a fact.
I tell people that, like, even I got friends that have been in the military and, you know, other different walks of life, and I always, like, salute them because I'm like, bro, it take a different type of discipline to commit your life to something. And law school is one of those things, like, when people ask me, you know, they're like, what's the best advice you can give me? I'm trying to go to law school. I'll be like, make sure that you're ready to sacrifice and dedicate your time and, like, your life to it, bro. Because, like, your first year, you can't even have a job, you know what I'm saying? So, like, people with families and stuff like that, I know it's difficult because you got to interact with your family. Or, like, you the head of your household. It's hard to have time to yourself. When in law school, really, law school is the most important thing when you in law school because, like, man, they really just pile on work to test you. And, like, and your social life really disappears. You
Ain't
know?
gonna be nothing.
Yeah, like, for a while, you know, I was having problems with my friends. They, you know, they feeling some type of way. I can't be places. And, honestly, my law school experience, my first year was crazy. Like, I was shook because I'm like, I got to make sure your first year, the bottom 15% of the class, you get dropped. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. That's you know what I mean? 15%, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, so, you know what I'm saying? You just get dropped and you pretty much just lost your money. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's pretty cutthroat. And I was definitely not trying to be in that 15%.
Right.
Whatever the percentage is. I wasn't trying to be a part of that. So, my first year was really crazy. But my second year, I was really back outside. Like, everybody, my mentor would be joking. He'd be like, man, he was like, I was rocking with you, but I didn't know if you was going to make it. You be at the club till 2. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Man, you tough, man.
I had a lot
in law
on.
school.
Yeah,
man, I'm pretty sure it's some attorney that's listening to this that's like, how? Ain't no way I could be out there too.
Crazy. He was like, I didn't know if you was going to make it, but I, you know, thank God I did. But I was able to, it's really about how you study. And then, other than when I was outside, I ain't had nothing but time to myself. I was single. I ain't have no family. Like, all I had was a dog at the house. You feel me? So I had to go home. You feel me? So, like, I really just, law school, man, you got to be dedicated. I had to get to a point in my life where I just, like, had to get serious for real, man. I was trying to figure out what my next step in life was. The music stuff wasn't really what I wanted it to be. And I know I still wanted to be in that industry. So I was like, how can I get in this industry and still be a boss and not have to, deal with some of the stuff like being like the star you have to deal with. Because I don't want to be the star no more. You feel me? I just want to help people. So that's why I was just trying to figure out. And then I can network with so many people being a lawyer. It just in my head, I was like, it's the right time. The stuff I had going on in my life at that time wasn't really all that positive. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like I still had an education, and I was like, this is the next thing I need to do before I just, do nothing for real, just be out here existing. So that I had to buckle down and figure out what I was going to do. I was actually going into law school, I was getting out of a terrible relationship, so that was taking a toll on me. And then, like I said, I just ain't had the best stuff going on in life at the time. So for me, it was like, this is your last chance. You feel me? You might as well go ahead and do something that you know you can do. So that, like I said, since I've been young, that's always been in the back of my mind. Like, if I was going to be some kind of professional, I'll be a lawyer, because it's so many different areas of law. You can have your own firm. You feel me? You can work for people too. But I just wanted to be able to have that flexibility in a career. You can help people. I can do a lot of things as a lawyer. So.
And you a minority in another way, because being an entertainment lawyer, even in North Carolina, is a state, period. Like, it's not that many. Like, it's probably, I can't even name, but literally probably like two that come to mind. And really, you the only one that I really know that specialize in that. And I feel like you could speak more on this too, but like, it's important when that's what you need. Like, if you need an entertainment lawyer, going to a criminal defense lawyer, okay, that it's gonna be a little bit different. Like, you already through the years, you've been seeing certain stuff, you've been learning this for a reason. It's major. You don't want to play in a situation like that. Like, you locking into a contract, so you can speak on that.
Yeah, so with being an entertainment lawyer, especially in North Carolina, because I have done, parties and stuff like that, I wanted to be the guy at an NC that's like the go-to guy when it comes to music, because we starting to come up a lot for artsy type stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, like, this right here is still a position left for, for a lawyer to really like lock in, because there's certain places like, I know a lawyer out in LA that, I chit chat with from time to time that I look up to, you know what I'm saying? He got his clients is crazy. He almost got everybody. It's like, it seemed like sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And then I know a guy in New York that I look up to, and it's like, his client list is crazy. Like, so I wanted to be known like that from North Carolina. Whenever somebody got something going on music-wise, they're like, oh, now you need to call him. Like, let me introduce you to him. I know him. I need to put you on him. So that's kind of why I chose that lane too, is I seen North Carolina is not really a state that's known for that kind of stuff. And I was like, I want to be the guy here and other places, but especially for my hometown, I want to be, you know what I'm saying, in a sense, like a gatekeeper of, music around here too.
Yeah, like that's another intricate part within the music business. And that's like, it's kind of go back to something I said, because I said the reason why I started my podcast is because I feel like it's big that we need media in the Carolinas to cover what's going on. Like, you could have a lot of different parts, but everything have to work together for it to work. So like, I feel like the same way you saying, we need entertainment lawyers. We need it. We need people to specialize. That's why I was saying we needed media, because we need people to broadcast certain things. People need to be able to tell their story. You can't just have everybody trying to rap. You can't have everybody trying to be a producer. Like, like you said, it got to be gatekeepers. It got to be playmakers that's behind the scenes, that's doing other things, that's making it all work together for it to grow. And exactly as you said, Carolina, for the RC stuff, is finally starting to get paid. They finally starting to get the big money for
on
it.
The map, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, we definitely need media, man. That's why I'm like, yo, like what you've been having going on, like major salute. Even like you said, starting with like the spotlight. You know what I'm saying? That's major, because it's, you don't really, it's people doing stuff now too, but it's not like, when you think about like Breakfast Club.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
My point,
like,
yeah.
It's like, be that of here. You feel me? And then it's easier to get into other states and other places when they see how much your state rocking with you.
Exactly.
It's easy to get everywhere. That's the only reason we watch Breakfast Club. We're not in New York. You
exactly.
Like, but they got New York on Smash. So,
exactly. And that's why, like, if you're an artist, you're a Carolina artist, and it's a huge thing for you to get on the Breakfast Club. even though there is people down in the South, whatever, that's listening to you, they audience is up top. So if you able to come to a media source that's here, that's in the Carolinas, you can be able to tap in with your audience that you're not alienating. Because like it's these country areas that's rocking with some of these artists now. Like there's a lot of artists from the Carolinas that's really getting streams, that's really getting played now, and they need to be broadcast.
Right. And I mean, Carolina, man, it's like people look at it like people that's from here look at North Carolina like, they're like, it's just NC. But see, I done been around other places, and that's why now I've been back in Carolina a lot because I want to put my impact on Carolina because there's a lot of people here and there's a lot going on. So, we got motion for sure. So I'm like, man, I'm trying to put on for Carolina. I'll be everywhere else too, but I'm trying to put on for Carolina now. That's been in my head a lot. Like a lot of people been telling me, they're like, man, I want to move here, I want to move there. I'm like, man, it's cool, but if you already got a fan base here or a client base or whatever it is that you're doing, you already got a good structure and foundation in North Carolina. Like I said, maximize it, man.
Yeah.
And then move on somewhere like.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
The resources are definitely here.
Right, you feel me? It's like, it only makes sense.
So, is there anything else that you want to add before we get up out of here?
When it. Trying to think with it.
You got anything else you want to tell them about? You got anything that's coming? Anything for people to be on the lookout for?
Y'all definitely go stream Trapped on Tubi.
Yeah, let them know. Let them know that.
Another reason I got in the movie industry, man. Ain't a lot of movie stuff going on out here.
Right.
When I seen you was doing it, I'm like, that's what's
it's really not a lot at all. Like when you see, especially black people, like other black people within the industry doing it and trying, it's hard to even because you got to connect. You got to connect with them because that's why I'm glad to even see you doing it. And how many? How many is it that y'all up to now?
We said what now?
How many traps?
Oh, so we working on the second one now. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's one of the goals for this year is to get the second movie out.
Okay.
Yeah, to get the second one out, and I got like 2 or 3 other scripts that I'm working on too. That's like different genres of movies, but that's one thing I'm ready to get back into heavy. I kind of with this spot definitely got distracted last year.
Yeah.
This was a lot building this spot out, so I had to kind of focus, but I'm trying to get back to the movies.
And what do you enjoy more, the writing side or the acting side? Man, that's a hard question, ain't it? I know it's a hard question.
I love writing, right? So that's how I started writing was off the music stuff. So I love writing, but I like acting now.
Exactly.
Too, but,
it's like the one thing, because that's how I was like until I started getting into my own movies. I did that. I'm like, man, this is fun. Yeah, like you really can become this character. You could do, and then also the thing is when you writing it, it's like you wrote it. So you internalize, your lyrics, her lyrics, his lyrics, all that. So it's a different.
Bit easier for you.
Yeah, and
I know how this supposed to go. So.
Exactly, like you kind of see it from a different point of view.
I don't have to study it as crazy as somebody that just I'm handing you.
Yeah, it's kind of a cheat sheet. For sure.
But yeah, I'm starting to like acting a lot more, man. I'm having people been reaching out to me about doing some stuff. It's just about time permitting, but. I look at it like me acting is helping promote me as a lawyer even more, or me as a personal brand. So I'm definitely gonna keep, rocking with it.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's definitely, and there's a whole different. You see your lawyer on TV going crazy.
That's what would be crazy, man. People be like, "Yo, man, my lawyer,"
right?
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Man, yeah, you can brag about it.
Traditional, man. I'm not a traditional lawyer. You feel me?
Nah. And that's the good thing. When you were saying you cutting your dreads and wearing suits and everything, that's cool. You can wear suits whenever you want to, but like being you is gonna be what people gonna remember you for. If you just fall in, blend in, and be where everybody else is, and I know you probably are also a minority from the sense of it's probably the black people that is lawyers, probably more women, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Like in law school, bro, it was way more black women than black males in my school. Like 5 times more.
Yeah.
More, bro. So that's for sure. And really, man, I had to learn to start embracing like when somebody like, oh, you a lawyer? Like that's what's up, you know what I mean? Because usually I'll be thinking like, you know what I'm saying? Why you think I'm not a lawyer? You feel me? But I'm starting to embrace it now though, because it's just like they just excited to see somebody that
for sure, bro. You know how I go represent like to see. Even when I was young, like I could think back to like when I was a kid. If I would have seen you as a kid, that would have been so much motivation because, I'm from a small town, bro. We didn't see a lot of black men doing positive, great things. Like I had, like my pops. That's who I looked at. Like my pops. Then you got like we had like Dr. McQueen, but that was about it when it comes to like people that was doing.
That's crazy. His daughter work up here.
Word, yeah. See, but he a legend. He a legend. He a legend. For sure.
That's crazy, man.
But it's like that's what I'm saying. The representation that you putting out there where kids could just see, like it's possible. Like this is a job that we can do. Because it's just like you look at kids who are sons of NBA players and stuff like that, like Curry. When you see it's possible, then you go do it. It make it a lot more easier.
Yeah, we gotta start doing that more as black people, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We definitely gotta start doing that more. Like I was telling somebody the other day, I was like, because my pops was a pediatrician, and I'm like, if I was smart, I'd have just went and became a pediatrician, but it just won't for me. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I just was like rebellious, anyways.
Yeah.
But like I'm like my kids, I hope they want to be a lawyer because
right.
they don't have the path already laid out for you.
Right.
It ain't about like I was one of them cats like. I'm gonna do it myself, this and that. Like, it's okay to have some help.
Man, what?
It's okay. That's the whole point of your parents working hard. And, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, people in the NBA, like LeBron's kids, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they got a lot to look up to.
Right.
But they can see, I can go do this too because my dad did it. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
As hard as it is to get there,
right.
but it's really easy to do.
I can do it. It's done right here. So, I definitely, man, that's heavy in our culture. Like we gotta start, you know what I'm saying, paying attention to what's going on and seeing it and achieving it for sure.
Yeah, that's real. So, anything else you want to leave them with, your social media, whatever?
Oh yeah. Y'all can follow me on Instagram at $1 Million ESQ. The law firm page is Covington Law. Let me think if I got anything else. The website, www.thecovingtonlaw.com. You can book a free consultation up there, free 15-minute consultation. You can book an in-person consultation. You can get my email. All the information about the firm is on there. But Instagram, best way to connect with me.
Yeah. All right.
Look, I gotta say one more thing I meant to say earlier when we was talking about Campbell. I remember when you was talking about it was such a small spot, so
right.
And when you hear it, stuff spread around campus so quick. I remember when I first met you, had that big body Beamer out there.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, man, it was crazy.
745.
Man, and that's why
killing them.
But that was the thing. We it was it ain't that many black people. That's when you see one, like you remember for sure. And I remember you like you was doing your thing. You was promoting. Then you were going crazy. You were doing a lot of different stuff.
You like that. Then they told me you was from back home. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah. Because where was you born?
I was born in Raleigh, but my dad from Rockingham.
That's what I was about to say. I knew you were born in Raleigh. You got connections down there. Like you got country boy at your heart. You be riding horses and stuff too. You be on the dirt bikes, all that.
I love it down there. You know what I'm saying, for that aspect of definitely.
Yeah.
That's what's up though, man.
Yeah, well, that was good times. In Campbell days, it was good time for the short time I was there.
For sure.
I had to go to A&T, man. I had to get around some of the people.
I ain't mad at you.
You came to Greensboro too, though.
Yeah,
you came to Greensboro.
For sure, man. At that time, I definitely need to stay in Campbell so I could.
You needed that structure.
Like,
you did, man.
I would have been buck wild in Greensboro.
See, the thing is, you grew up in Raleigh. Like me growing up in the county, I felt like I was moving to the county, moving to Boone's Creek. Like I was like, man, I want to see something different.
I knew I was slowing down.
Yeah.
I just knew I could go. I'm like, I shoot the Raleigh, shoot here.
Then my freshman year, you get there, they got you going to church. You got to be in church. You got to swipe your card. You get the great. And I had a boy. That I was going to school with. Man, he failed the class just because he wasn't showing up. All you gotta do, you just show up, swipe your card, and that's your A. He missed like 10, 12 days because I remember our day was on Monday, so it made it hard. We trying to come back on the weekend. It was like Monday 8 a.m. They be doing you dirty with that.
Called CUW.
See you worship. That's what it was. Yeah, see you worship. Then you got to, on top of that, you got to take the religion courses. Right. You've been and learned the whole Bible from a historic standpoint. It was. It definitely. The one thing that I did like about it, like it made me have to be uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Like you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because I definitely wasn't comfortable when I first got there, but I had to learn, like, it ain't gonna always
be a lot of us out there.
Exactly, man. But they building up though, like we were saying, they building up. I love to see it, and the football team getting bigger.
God, this is crazy. I wish it was like this when we was here.
What? I'm telling you, bro, because when I went there, I went for football, man. It was the field was nice then, but they ain't have none of that.
Now they doing their thing. I think, what was it? Last year they played Jackson State, I think.
Yeah. It was close. They lost, but they was. I watched that game. Yeah. They switch. I think they switching conference too. They about to be an A&T conference. It's gonna be that. It's gonna be tough with this one. I think A&T Central. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's gonna be a rough one. Yeah, but I appreciate you letting me come through, bro.
I appreciate you, man.
We'll have to get another.
Major, bro. So
all right.
For sure, appreciate that.
And y'all know what to do. Until next time, keep it in the streets.
Over here we got the arcade going on. Got pinball machines. You know, that's a hyper pitch machine. Basketball, air hockey. You got the racing games, Jurassic Park shooting games. These machines, you know, you can win stuff. Xbox cards, AirPods, shoes, all kind of toys and prizes. More games. We got the pool hall area over here. Got some more TVs going up on this area. Just pool vibes. Pool pretty big out here. Over here we got like the board game room. This is also party room. You can rent it out, bring your people, have a party in here, but on regular nights you just play board games, have a little game night or whatever. Right here we got the axe throwing. You ever try axe throwing?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. We got the axe throwing going on, man. I don't know, I might be a little rusty. Man, I ain't done it in a minute. Let me see what I got.
Ain't do nothing.
But yeah, man, we got the axe throwing lanes over here. Let me try one more. There we go. So yeah, we got 6 axe throwing lanes. They got all kind of like digital games, different virtual games you can play on there. And bring you around my favorite part of the spot, of course, the bar and lounge area. Got the lounge seating, the bar seating. Got the premium liquor up there for you. Got some kegs back there, some beer, whatever you need. Over there, we got the concession stand, you know how that go down. Snacks and chips and candy. Over here, we actually about to start letting people sign this wall right here. So we threw the big Ready Up logo on there. Start getting people to sign it. This is probably the most popular machine, the punch machine. Of course, they get drunk, want to show off for the ladies. Want to punch the punch machine. And back here, we got the Nerf gun arena. Come through here. So, first stop, come in here, they kind of brief you on what's going on. You get your guns, show you a couple of these Nerf guns. Get tested out on the shooting range back there. Let's see what they got back here. Yeah, we got all kind of, you know, the upgrades. Nerf guns. Everybody gets suited and booted and geared up. Then we head to the Nerf gun arena. This is probably one of the funnest parts of the spot. This what kind of made me want to get into it. We had went to an open building and my homeboy pulled out the Nerf guns. We started running around shooting each other. I was like, all right, this kind of fun. So it's a whole Area 51 Army theme. Each team starts on each side. Got different games that you play. 15 minutes worth of gameplay. Yeah, man, it's a vibe. It's kind of like laser tag, but Nerf guns. Yeah, this the whole Nerf gun right here. Got the real truck in here. And after they finish here, they exit back out to the front. Back out here. Yup. That's Ready Up Game Lounge, man. Come see us. 2401 Eric Lane, Burlington, North Carolina.
Are you ready, Katie?
Pull up in a spaceship, feeling like the Jetsons. Probably out of the universe, driving on a mission. I've been searching far and wide, chasing all the visions. Burning all the reefer up, feeling like the Jetsons. I'ma be supreme, yeah, let's be supreme. I'ma be supreme, yeah, let's be supreme, yeah. Hop up out the space, cool, we gon' find a